Check. So I decided to do like a 30-minute sculpt, and I haven't really sculpted in ZBRUSH in about 2 weeks. So basically I was like, oh, I'm going to start with a sphere, I'm going to make a face of some sort. I literally was going to do like a girl's face, some sort of cute character. I thought, oh, that's safe, that's something easy I could do. But usually it takes me like 2 hours to get something good. For some reason I thought half hour, yeah, I could just really do something awesome that'll push me. And during this video I get really lost. I don't know what I'm doing. So by the way, this is sped up like 2 to 4 times, I think 4 times. So I spent 36 minutes in all. Excuse my voice, I just woke up a little while ago. So yeah, I start using Dynamesh. Right now I've taken the 2 spheres and I'm selecting an area. Then I'm using this plugin called Extractor Pro, I think it is. And I'm extracting out some eyelids. At this point I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm really gonna rock this. And it's like anything with art, you start to get like doubtful, and you're not really sure where you're going, and you don't really know if it's worth it. You don't really know, like, why am I even doing this? Partly you're self-conscious of others judging it, and then ultimately you become the judge and you start judging yourself. But there's an inkling of trust and sort of vulnerability, and you just feel like, well, I don't know, I'm already in the shit, I gotta get myself out of this. And you start like letting go of it and not judging as much and just kind of following hunches. So right now I'm like, alright, I'm gonna make a nose, I'm gonna establish. So I was using this cut, the cut brush. It's like it's nice to cut out shapes. I'm still not that great at knowing how to use the cut brush, but I just now was searching for an IMM brush to create like a nose, because I've sculpted a nice nose and I turned it into a brush so you could just plop in a nose. So I was basically going to try to cheat real quick and just toss in a good nose, basically assemble like Frankenstein, assemble parts. And I couldn't find the brush, so then I said, alright, let me go back to doing from the ground up, from scratch. So as you can see, I start to get really weird. I'm like, oh no, I don't know, maybe I'll do some sort of creature like Star Wars kind of. Maybe I'll do a mask. Yeah, that'll be cool. So I'm using this slice, like this cut brush, and I'm still not too sure on how to use it. I'm good at it, but the fundamentals of exactly how to use the brush I don't always get correct. So I end up usually putting it away. So that's something I definitely have to watch some videos on to learn how to use a bit more. Here I'm like absolutely confused. I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna make some sort of mask. It's some sort of Darth Vader type creature. And I'm kind of just getting lost in the symmetry, to be honest. I'm sort of playing with the symmetry, trying to find nostrils. I'm like, yeah, breathing apparatus. And I'm kind of like, let me get back to this human. I was like, alright, I guess I'll go all the way and make him evil, like some scary looking mask. And I think as I go forward, I start to see this kind of like scary mouth. Oh yeah, so I cut out a mouth, and similar to like the Japanese masks back in the days, I think, and some other cultures have had these really like scary masks, like Hawaii does it in their their tiki kind of sculptures, where the teeth are like So I kind of have this ghouly kind of face coming to me, and I'm sort of just, and then I just got this crazy idea, like, I'm gonna make ears. Yeah, okay, guess he looks like a rabbit. And then now I totally take a left and I'm like, alright, I'll just make some sort of rabbit monster mask. And in one way I'm also thinking of the Star Wars character there. I can't remember, I think it's in Rogue One, and it's sort of like these cool, almost mecha, like Japanese Gundam style robot, horns. in one way I'm kind of going like, oh yeah, I'll do that, you know. So here I have to fill in some space, and then I start using the IMM2 brush, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, this might help me get some forms. And that led me to start to want to use that brush, and I'm dynameshing after I drop the tool, so it becomes one form. Then I remember, oh, the lips, this is weird, I have to somehow fix this mask lip mouth apparatus. You know, I'm just on the fly, have no idea. Oh, and right here I thought, oh, I gotta make this a little more realistic or organic, give a little wrinkles, give a little more details. And then, oh, and now I'm using this new brush that's in ZBRUSH. You make selections and it creates meshes out of the selection. So that kind of popped into my head. That's the new version, 21.6. So I start going, oh, I could use that, you know. And they've got a nice mechanical, well, like a bevel panel projection. Like you make a selection and it projects a mesh in a panel beveled kind of way. So if you're familiar, you may know. So I think I switched to that now, and I start making sheets of panels on top of this skin, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's really gonna help me make this mask. And I'm kind of just freestyling. Obviously, I'm new to this tool. It just dropped recently. It just came out. So I'm trying to use this in like a concept way, also still discovering how to actually use that tool. I realized that the forehead needs some form, some sort of bulk up at the top of the skull. I felt like he was a little bit flat-headed. And now I'm like copying the volumes, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could just copy. I forget how you do it. I think you hold shift or option. Sorry, but that's just memorized. Making more panels, and you know, I'm getting closer to the 30-minute cutoff because I wanted to just sculpt something for 30 minutes. And yeah, I'm like, oh, you know, let me just make some more panels and build up this sort of skin panel, abstract shapes, you know. And I'm having fun now. Now I'm okay. I don't mind what I did. Definitely far-fetched from a female character that I first planned. Oh, right now I'm thinking in sort of like insects and how their mouths are, and how they have those little kind of weird antennae, like teeth that pull in things. And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, you know. Oh, and there's this other brush, this new snake curve brush that I was attempting to try, but I didn't do so well. That's the more textured one. I wanted just the regular one that you could pull out form. Didn't work so well. I felt a bit anxious, like time is... Oh, and then I liked how I selected. I like that little selection. Sorry, it's going kind of fast. There's little blips of things that I liked, and then I realized the time was short. So I figured, okay, I gotta close this up. And I got this spontaneous idea to make like whiskers, almost like it's cat-like. It's like a rabbit cat creature mechanical thing. And I think this is the last little pieces that I make. I start to kind of copy, duplicate, and position those whiskers, antennas, and I think that's about it. I just kind of like mess around a little bit more. And let me see what else. Oh, now I'm thinking, oh, I should put like a material that looks kind of good. And I look at the macap red, which is funny. And then yeah, I think I choose a material, I fill it. I wanted to make the eyes black and glossy just to make it just a little scary, or some sort of mystical creature with black eyes. I think I do that next, or soon. I don't know, at some point. But yeah, I mean, it turned out cool. It's like I just kind of freestyled for a half hour and wanted to see what I come up with. There was a bit of pressure and deadline. I want to test myself, like what would I do under a deadline, because when you have a lot of time on your hands, you just dilly-dally and you just sometimes just don't accomplish anything. When there's no deadline, there's no pressure to do something. you know, you fill your head with all these ideas of, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that, and it's almost like as if you think you did do it, or at least, excuse me, at least I do. I almost delusionally like act like I did something, and so this, I just wanted to push me to do something, even if it wasn't to my standards of what was good, but I like it. It came out pretty decent. So thanks for watching. I'll try to do some live 30-minute sculpts soon, but this was just a sped up video of a random creature that I created. Mechanical creature. Rabbit Rat Man. Alright, thanks, Brian Life. Peace.